Good morning, Programming 12. So this is going to be a short video that just runs through the expectations of your project. I'm looking forward to just kind of showing you what all the final features are. So we'll start off with our good old intro screen. It looks, with some effort put into making it enjoyable. Some text, some GIFs, and a button to start. That's going to take you to your map select screen. So that's going to give you some buttons using the button class. And when you click on a button, that'll load that particular map. So if I click on River of Stars, then it will take me to that map. Had I clicked on the other one, of course, it would load a different map, and they'll have different nodes and so on. Actually, I meant to hide the nodes, but that's okay. It's fine. It doesn't really matter if the nodes are there or not. Now we're going to get started with sending out waves, but first I guess we should build towers. So here's another mode. We have the play mode, and then build mode. In build mode, we're going to have ourselves some buttons for building towers, and we'll also have a certain amount of money, and as we purchase towers, it'll use up our money. And if we run out of money, we can't build a tower, we won't be able to click on it. There's also a button to go back and forth between the play and the build mode. So actually two different buttons, to be honest. Now, let's see. Let's take a look at the different kind of guns. Here is I'll put it over here, I guess. That's a gun tower, I'm referring to it as. Here is an AOE tower. Area of effect is what that stands for. And then here is a sniper tower. And they work as such. So we'll press the green, play button. Again, we'll run the wave. You'll have to kind of bear with me. So I'll start with the gun tower. You can see the gun tower just shoots bullets in all four directions. That's the story behind it. That's all it does. Those bullets, of course, are their own objects, and good old mobs need to be paying attention for collisions with those, and we've done that in previous assignments. A new thing you're going to be doing is, of course, the AoE tower. That circular one down here. Notice that makes a big flash. A white circle sort of suddenly appears around it, and everything that's inside of that circle is going to take damage. It's really just a big bullet. It's a really large bullet that doesn't move anywhere, and it dies after a couple of frames. I think I have 3 or 5 frames for it to stick around. So it just bursts and shoots out this stationary bullet that just sticks around for a short while. All right. Last but not least, we got the sniper tower. Now, I don't care if you make the sniper tower rotate or not necessarily. It's cool. It looks great when it does. But basically what it is doing is just damaging the mob at index 0 in the list of mobs. So it's always targeting the first mob in the list. And you can get that mob with something like mobs.get 0. I'll just give you the first one that you built in the list. You'll notice that, in my case, the speedy mobs and the chunky mobs are actually not getting targeted because I actually add those later in the list. So if you wanted to, hit these speedy mobs first or something, then you'd have to make sure. Oh, I might run out of lives here. You'd have to make sure that you load them first in the list. That's the reason they're targeting in that order because that's the way I'm loading them into my list in that order. So that's the story behind the 3 different types of towers. Oh, and I should mention the sniper tower also draws a line just to make it look like it's doing something. You can make that line just kind of flash at the moment, when it gets really close to the cooldown gets close to the threshold. You can make it kind of animated like the way I'm doing it. But some sort of indication that it's like shooting and hitting a particular mob, a line is a great way to do it. And then there's different kinds of mobs. We have the good old mob we built as a lesson together. So there's not much different there. That's just the good old mob from the videos. I'm going to call it the regular mob for the rest of this video. So as opposed to the good old mob, whatever that means. So the regular mob we've done already. And now you're going to build on speedy mobs. So speedy mobs are mobs that move faster than the regular mobs. Pretty much otherwise are the same. I think I'm going to die here, but I disabled my game over screen so that I could do this demonstration because I suck at this game. So that's that kind. And then there's these big orange fellas. I'm going to call those the chunky mobs. Chunky mobs are basically mobs that have more hit points and they're bigger, but they are also slower. So they differ in key ways. So that's the story there, and I hope that is pretty clear. Other than that, there's just the game over screen, which I've disabled, but you can use your imagination. It'll basically, when the mobs get, any kind of mob gets to the end of the screen, it'll reduce our lives. I'm at -1 right now, and that means I should be at the game over screen, right? You know when to set the game over screen to turn on. So it'll display, game over and how many waves I successfully completed. And then I'll have a button to take us back to intro again to bring us back to the beginning. So there you go. That's basically our project, and you're going to be responsible for adding in those extra features. Hopefully that makes sense, and let me know if I can help along the way. Okay. Thanks, everybody.